On our video recently on Bangernomics, one of our viewers used the phrase Retronomics, which relates to buying a retro car that is going to appreciate or grow in value. So it's a way of kind of profiting by owning a car. So please let me know in the comments if you think that your car is a future appreciating classic, or let me know what cars you feel will be these appreciating future classics that'll just go on climbing in value. So the concept of retronomics really is buying a car that is not going to depreciate, but it's going to appreciate. So we're looking for a very special category of car, and there are quite a few good candidates out there. You kind of need a bit of a crystal ball to predict the future and know where the price is going, but looking at past trends gives us an indicator, or at least flags up some of the possibilities out there that we should be looking at if we want to get into retronomics. So what are these future appreciating classics? Well, in my book, it's got to be something interesting and something that marked a piece of motoring history, a first, or something that's already attracting a big following or big fan clubs. So I would put some of the early hot hatches from the 80s and 90s in this category. So I would say the Peugeot 205 GTI was one of those essential cars that came along and really carved out a niche for itself. The early Ford Fiesta XR2, even the Ford Focus, the Mark Is, both in that category where things significantly changed when these models came out, and they've already got quite a dedicated following. They're quite rare as well, which is another thing that helps to make the price appreciate. We've got to mention as well the Mark I Golf GTI, one of the cars that people will often talk about when you're discussing those milestone car models that came out and significantly changed things. You've got these performance cars that already have lots of fan followings and already have a very positive image. So the Nissan Skyline for many was that ultimate sleeper performance car, and that's probably the first car a lot of people went to when they got their computer games back in the 80s and 90s. And these cars have lived on in people's memories, and they just want to own them at some point in the future. So that's likely to be an appreciating classic. Also the Mazda RX-7, they're quite challenging to maintain because a lot of people don't understand the nuances of these rotary engines. So again, they're quite rare and they're becoming rarer. So that's a point where they're likely to go up. And also the Toyota Supra, one of these massive powerhouse cars from Japan, made by Toyota, legendary reliability, bulletproof engines. There's every reason to feel that those early Supras will keep going on and appreciating in value. But to get that, we really need to find one that hasn't been extensively modified and adapted and changed from its original specifications. We've got to mention as well the BMW E46 M3. Many hang on to that as one of the ultimate models that BMW have brought out over the years. Let me know if you feel there's other models that deserve that cult classic status from BMW. Then you've got those quirky, interesting cars that maybe weren't even that well received when they first came out, but people have become appreciative of them and they're becoming collectible. So the early Audi TT would probably fall into that bracket. The early styling wasn't that well received. It was quite revolutionary at the time, and it represented a bit of a change in Audi itself. So that was a significant milestone in the Audi lineup, and those early Mark I TTs were very well built and the engines were really, really solid. So there's every reason to consider that these will both last and become appreciating classics. The Mazda MX-5 also has bulletproof engines. There are so many on the roads and they're really loved. They're great fun cars to drive. Mazda wanted a car that competed with the great British open coupe icons, and they came up with a fantastic package. So it's no surprise that the MX-5 has gone on through many different iterations to what it is today and has picked up quite a fan base. So this is going to make those early models those appreciating classics in the future. So thinking about more recent cars becoming future classics, we've got the Honda S2000. That was a significant milestone in people's minds from Honda. It was a celebration car. The engineers were allowed almost a free rein to come up with a special package, and the S2000 certainly ticked a lot of boxes that are required for a car to have future classic status. And then you've got the collaboration between Toyota and Subaru, where the GR86 and the BRZ performance models have been released. They were designed to be the ultimate driver cars. They were going back to Toyota's success with that lovely rear-wheel drive AE86. Even cars from Nissan like the 350Z and the 370Z could well be those appreciating classics that just keep climbing and climbing in value. Again, they're reliable, they've got quite unique styling, they've already got quite a loyal fan following, and a lot of people appreciate those cars as driver cars, as fun to have and fun to own. So please let me know in the comments what you think about these cars that I've listed and what cars you feel will be appreciating classics. So please let me know your thoughts on whether your car is an investment. I suppose the opposite scale is your car becomes a liability. It's running up exorbitant amounts of repair bills and repair costs and upkeep and maintenance. So please let me know your comments on that. In our community section, we have a poll that I'd really like you to have a look at. I'll put a link to it in the description of this video, but please let me know what your upkeep and running costs have been on your car in the last 12 months. It'd be handy to know the make, the model, and the year of your car. If you know the depreciation, drop that in, but if you don't worry, I'm going to try and work that out. So I'm planning a video that is looking at the actual physical cost of owning a car over a year, and I really need as much feedback from you guys as possible. So thanks for that. Please boot the like button. That really does help us to get out there. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, because we'd hate to miss out on the great content we've got lined up. And speaking of great content lined up, this video and this playlist should definitely be of interest to you. So see you in this next video. Thanks for watching.